going on, everyone? DSP here, and welcome to the weekend preview for February 21st, 2011. A lot to talk about in this episode, and first of all, I just want to say to everyone, welcome to DSP Gaming. This show will, from now on, be on DSP Gaming simply because it makes more sense. More people are subscribed to this channel, it's going to get maximum exposure, and more people are going to know what I'm doing. Rather than me putting this on the King of Fate HD, and then I get constant questions on DSP Gaming about what the hell am I doing in the next week, blah, blah, blah. So, from now on, this will be on this channel, but don't worry. Any vlogs or anything, or vlogs, whatever the hell they're called, will be over on the King of Fate HD, but this weekly series of the Weekend Preview will be here on DSP Gaming. So, a lot to talk about. Before I start talking about the future, I do want to let everyone know a little bit about what happened this past week and also about my status with Machinima. First of all, this past week I've been playing the living hell out of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. If you haven't seen it already, head over to DSPStreetFighter, which is my fighting game related channel. There's match videos of online and offline play. There's me taking on arcade mode. I have a 7-part Marvel 3 Basics tutorial video which step-by-step teaches you the ins and outs of the game, and I've gotten thousands of replies saying, Phil, thank you so much. This has taught us, you know, we had no idea how to play this game. We never played a versus game in the past, and you taught us all the basics, and now we're actually able to jump online and have fun. So check that out. Plus, I have a couple initial character tutorials for Wesker, Super Skrull, and Sentinel all over there. There will be more in the future as I play and develop more characters. In fact, I'm already working on that right now. So that's great, and it's been an amazing week for me over there on DSP Street Fighter. Every single day I've had either between 100 to 200,000 views or more. I've been in the top 50 most viewed channels every single day, so thank you. Please keep it up. I appreciate that. Now, as for Machinima, a lot of people have been asking me, Phil, you know, now that you're part of Machinima, when will you be submitting a video to Machinima for them to put on their channel? Well, this weekend I did. I put part 1 of my Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Basics tutorial, and I submitted it to Machinima, and that actually went up yesterday around noon on Machinima Respawn, so you can go check that out. It is over there. And you know what? A lot of positive feedback from what I saw. I mean, the video has over 600 likes. A lot of people basically are trying to learn this game and have never touched one of these games before, and so this is a great learning experience for them. However, I do have a little bit of a criticism, and I am a little bit disappointed because the video's now been up there for a day, and my video has 12,000 views, and there's also someone else who does fighting game stuff over there called Baruti, and he also has part 1 of his tutorial series up. His only got 10,000 views. And so here's my question. If this video on my own personal channel of DSP Street Fighter got 40,000 views so far, okay, why is it that when it goes up on a super popular gaming channel it only gets 12,000 views, but if some nobody put up a stupid quick scoping video for Call of Duty, it probably would have gotten 100,000 views? And I am a little disappointed. What that's basically telling me is that unfortunately Machinima has kind of isolated themselves into a corner where people only think to look there for these kind of FPS videos, and other videos from other kinds of genres of gaming are going to have a very hard time breaking through and getting an audience on Machinima. But the good news is I already had that video up on DSP Street Fighter since Tuesday, so it's not like I lost out on anything. I just wanted to get my name out, and I'm hoping that there is a little bit of cross-pollination between Machinima and my own personal DSP Street Fighter channel. So we'll see what happens. All I can say is this: Machinima has been extremely helpful, extremely cooperative. They were dying to get that video up over there. They wanted to get something up for me over on their Respawn channel. And yes, I will be looking to put stuff over there in the future. I'm obviously not going to kill myself, considering that it's so hard to get views on there if it's not an FPS game. But at the same time, I am looking to find other kinds of product that I can put over there. So we'll see what happens in the future. But anyway, now on to the weekend preview. You might have noticed that the intro song is different from what it used to be, and that's because since it's on DSP Gaming, I need to use original works that are my own, and so I used a fan-created song by the Mass Defect. So thank you, Mass Defect, for that. So let's talk about what's coming up this week. First of all, today's Monday. It's early Monday morning here for me, actually, and what I'm planning to do today is tie up a few odds and ends before we start with the official new releases of this week tomorrow. So first of all, if you didn't hear, the Back to the Future game that I've been talking about all through the 4th quarter of 2010 actually came out last week, but guess when it came out? On the same day as Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is probably the dumbest idea they ever could have done, because most people were playing that game on that day. I mean, an insane amount of people were playing that game. So that was a really bad timing. But I love Back to the Future. It's one of my favorite movie series. I support this game, so I've downloaded it and I'm going to be playing it today, episode 1. There's actually going to be 5 episodes, but only 1 has been released so far. So I'm definitely going to be doing that today, and that footage will be up later today on DSP Gaming. Now, another game that actually has come out in the past couple of weeks is called Stacking, and this game is supposed to be a unique kind of puzzle game where you use different, you know those Russian dolls where you can stack them inside of each other, and I forget the name of them, so please forgive me. I know they have a formal name, but this whole game is based around that kind of thing, and you can take control of different dolls with different personalities to try to get past certain obstacles and things. And I'm a PlayStation Plus member thanks to a fan who donated during the holidays. He wanted me to sign up for PlayStation Plus and benefit from everything from PlayStation Plus. This is one of the things that I benefit from. This game is completely free because I am a member of PlayStation Plus. An interesting note, though, is that it says if you stop subscribing to PlayStation Plus, you can never play this game again. So that's similar to Xbox Live. If you're no longer a member of Xbox Live, you can never play an Xbox Live game you've paid for again. But that's not true, because on Xbox Live, even if you're a silver member, anything you've purchased when you were a gold member, you can still access when you're a silver member as long as you're signed in. But for this, they're basically saying, if you don't keep paying for PlayStation Plus indefinitely, fuck you. Any games that you bought under PlayStation Plus, you can't play anymore. That is kind of taking me back, like, whoa, that doesn't seem fair. But I'm just reading exactly what they're telling me the terms are for this game. But anyway, after I play Back to the Future, if I have time, I'm going to try out this game. I doubt I'm going to beat the whole game, but I just want to get a flavor for it, because a lot of people have been talking about it. And that'll be it for today. Tomorrow, keep in mind, there's 2 major releases, Killzone 3 and also Bulletstorm. But what I'm going to do is play Killzone 3 first. I think there's more demand to see footage of that game than anything else. I'll be starting the campaign, trying to get through the campaign. And then, once I finish the campaign, or if I get bored of it, I'll jump online. I did play the Killzone 3 online beta and enjoyed the online play, so I think I will enjoy the online play of the actual game as well. Especially with the classes, I think it's a really interesting take. It's almost like a hyper-realistic version of Team Fortress 2, which I like. I like that. So we'll see what happens with that. Bulletstorm I am going to play, but I'm going to play that after Killzone. So it's going to have to wait. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you have weeks where multiple games that are interesting games come out on the same day. This is the problem with the publishers and these marketing idiots who think that it's a good idea to release these games on the same day. It's not. You're killing your own market and you're fucking idiots, but I digress. So I'll be playing Killzone 3 first, then moving on to Bulletstorm. Now, what else is going on? Well, later this week is completely up in the air, and here's why. As you know, I've been saying for several weeks now that I want to join the competitive fighting game scene again. I've been playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Hardcore for the past week, learned a lot about it, want to join a tournament and see how I do. Basically there is a tournament in Philadelphia this weekend. It's final round. It is final round. Sorry. I got so many tournaments on the brain I'm getting them all mixed up. The name of the tournament in Philadelphia is Winter Brawl, okay? It is the first major tournament in the United States to be held for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. People are coming from all over to play, and we get the feeling this is the first time we're going to see people who have been trying different teams, different strategies, different aspects of the game, and they're going to slam them all together, and we're going to see what actually works in a tournament setting. We're expecting complete chaos, complete hilarity. It's going to be extremely hype, and I mean, I cannot stress enough, if you can make it to this tournament, you should, because these first couple of tournaments that happen for new games like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 are always the most hype, the most insane. You should be there. So try to get there if you can. But there's a problem for me. I have reserved the hotel room. I actually pre-registered, paid for all my registration. And the reason I did that is because a couple weeks ago, I don't even want to say a couple weeks ago, I'd say it was over a month ago, there were several people in Connecticut who were all hyped for the release of Marvel 3, and they wanted to go to Winter Brawl, and they were all talking about it. And then slowly but surely, week after week after week, as we got closer and closer, people fell off and said, oh, I can't go anymore. Oh, well, I have plans for something else. Or, in my opinion, the dumbest excuse, oh, I want to go to another tournament, and this tournament doesn't even have a date or a venue yet, but I want to go to that one, so I'm not going to Winter Brawl. To which I'm scratching my head like, you had the opportunity to go to the first, most hype tournament for Marvel 3, and you're going to wait for one that doesn't even have a date and a location yet. Ugh! yeah, like, it blows my fucking mind, but I can't make people change their mind, okay? And it was even as early as a week ago, as soon as a week, you know, as close to now as a week ago, people were saying they wanted to go, and all of a sudden everyone said, we're not going. So I'm pretty assed out, and the reason I'm assed out is, you know, as everyone knows who's been following me for quite a while, I do have a back injury, and basically I can't drive long distances. If I try to drive a long distance, first of all, I start to get uncomfortable after about 20 minutes in the car, and I start to lose my coordination. Then I start to get sharp pain shooting up my back. I've tried different things like driving 20 minutes, take a break, driving 20 minutes, it doesn't work. It's just sitting in the same spot, you know, driving. And the other thing is, because I do have a back injury, it's hard for me to do things like spur of the moment. So, for example, if someone swerves right in front of me, there's a chance that I might not be able to hit the brake in time, and that's it for me. And in addition to all that, my car is breaking down. My car is pretty old. It's about 8 years old now, and it's not doing too well. And it's to the point where I've already put so much money into the car, there's no reason for me to put more money into it. If the thing conks out, I'll just go buy another used car. You know, so I'm not going to try to get this thing fixed, so it's not roadworthy to make the trip by myself anyway. So unfortunately, I made all these plans based off of all these people in Connecticut saying that they wanted to go to Winter Brawl. Now it comes the week of, and now no one wants to fucking go. So I am really disappointed in that. Last minute, I'm trying whatever I can. I was on ShareYouCan.com posting up, geez, anyone going who's passing through Southern Connecticut that can maybe give me a ride, I'm willing to pay my way. And really, there haven't been any takers, so it's not looking too good. So I don't know what to say. It kind of sucks. I mean, I was dying to go to this tournament. This is really the beginning of the tournament season leading to the Nationals this year. It's going to be the most hyped tournament. I wanted to try out my skills, but I also wanted to get exclusive footage of some of the people who end up being the best in Marvel 3 right off the bat, which no one really knows who it's going to be. And now I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I might end up stuck home this weekend. So if I am stuck at home this weekend, then you're obviously going to see probably more Killzone 3 footage, more Bulletstorm 3 footage. Maybe I'll play more Marvel 3, have people over, we'll do more offline matches this week. But I am really hoping that everything comes together and I can get to Winter Brawl, but I don't know if it's going to work at this point. I am, you know, I try to stay positive, but, you know, I'm also a realist, and when you come down to this point and it's like, shit, you know, no one's really willing to help, it's like, well, I guess that's it, then I'm kind of screwed. So it is what it is. But the good news is it's not like I'm stuck with nothing to do. There's plenty to do. 2 new games coming out this week. And, you know, next week there's nothing new, really. I looked at the schedule. There's really no new game releases. So regardless of what happens, next week I'm going to have stuff to do between Marvel 3, between these 2 games coming out this week. But I really do want to go to Winter Brawl, and I guess we'll just have to see what happens. So if I do go to Winter Brawl, what you're going to see all weekend is footage from that tournament. I'll be uploading from that tournament, from that location. So you're going to see on DSPStreetFighter, you're going to see tournament footage, you're going to see casual play, you're going to see, hopefully I can snag a couple interviews with a couple people and say, what do you think of Marvel 3 so far? You know, what are your thoughts? Blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of people would love to see that live from an event like that. And hopefully, you know, I'll be able to do well enough that you'll see me playing in tournament and doing well as well. But I don't know. Again, this is a brand new game. It's completely up in the air. No one knows who's going to do well or what strategies are really going to work. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And if like I said, if I don't go, well, then obviously probably I'll have a new Smart Guys episode over on John Rambo's channel probably on Saturday. I'm sure he'll come over, and there'll be more gaming footage from, you know, Killzone 3, Bulletstorm, etc. over the course of the weekend. So, alright, so that's really it for the weekend preview. It's pretty much like a week up in the air because I don't know what's happening. If some miracle happens and I get a ride to Winter Brawl, that's great. If not, then I'm going to kind of be stuck here, which would suck, but it is what it is. That's life, and you got to deal with it. So, we'll see what happens. But anyway, thank you everyone who's been, you know, following along on DSPStreetFighter last week. Amazing week over there. I'm hoping to have an amazing week on DSP Gaming and to also continue with some of that on DSPStreetFighter, even though there won't be as much Marvel 3 footage over there this week. I'm really hoping that you know, that people will still follow along. There are a couple sets of offline matches from the past 2 days. If someone hasn't checked them out over there, go check them out. There's a larger variety of characters now, including Dormammu, Akuma, Chun-Li, Deadpool, a bunch of characters, as opposed to just the handful of characters that I was practicing with. I was playing with other people and getting more variety in the gameplay. So go check that out. Alright, so that's it. I'm DSP. I'll see you guys later today for Back to the Future and stacking, and then later on in the week, I'll let everyone know, obviously, once I hear back what's going on, and we'll go from there. So, thanks a lot. See you guys later.